How you doing? This is Howard with T&G Custom, coming at you live from the banks of the Cibolo Creek in Cibolo, Texas. Giving you a review of the Champion 66520 water transfer pump. It's an economical unit, basically it's entry level. I'm pretty impressed with it. It's okay. I mean, it pushes a great amount of water. Some of its construction is kind of sketchy. I mean, they could have done better on some stuff. I'll illustrate here in a minute. But overall, it's a good unit. And what I really like about it is the simplicity of the motor. So if you're a gearhead and you know anything about small engine mechanics, this thing breaking is not a problem. I mean, you can literally rebuild it in your sleep. It's not a problem. There's some videos already online about how to change the impeller on it. It's very simple, just a few bolts, you knock it off with a block and a hammer. Easy stuff, you know, easy stuff. There are a few things that I'm not happy about. One is that handle that's laying on the ground. Okay, that handle bolts up there and it swings, so it swings down when it's not in use. That way you don't shin yourself with it. I'll try to get a little closer to let you actually see what I'm talking about. But hopefully the sun will allow me, because it shut down my phone a minute ago. But anyways, I ran it for about 10 minutes, breaking the engine in. And what happened was, there's a, I don't know if you can see this, but there is a rubber plug on the end of this pipe. Well, this pipe slides through, and that rubber plug essentially keeps it on. How any engineers figured that would last, would be sturdy, I don't know. I just don't know. There's definitely cheap stuff to it. You get what you pay for. You know, this is entry level. But that's one thing that caught my eye, was when the handle fell off. I was like, okay. But I'm really impressed with the unit. It pumps a lot of water. It comes complete with hoses, a basket for the end of the intake hose. It's got cam lock for the intake to the pump. One thing about the cam lock though, it is difficult to get on. The hose is very tight on it. So what I did, see if you can see this, what I did was I roped this hose to a post of my arbor with some heavy gauge rope. I just tied the sucker down good, because I didn't have any help. So this is how you can do it by yourself. Otherwise you will probably need help on it. But you take this female cam lock and you work it in until you get it to past the first pieces of metal band. As you can see, there's metal band that wraps around in a spiral, and that's what gives it rigidity. Well, don't try to force it on. The best way to do it is to slowly work it on to that first spot where the wire catches the first groove, or lip I should say, of the cam lock. And then essentially I screwed it on. Now, depending on what end of the hose you're working on, you're gonna be going clockwise, counterclockwise. But don't try to just force it straight down onto the hose. It's not gonna do it. It's not gonna work. The best thing you can do is get it on that first lip and then just screw it on just like a bolt. It's a pain, it is hard. At one point I was like, oh, am I gonna really be able to do this? But there's always a way. It is difficult though. The plastic basket that is on the hose, I would definitely recommend getting an aftermarket one. It's a two-piece design where it's got a neck that goes onto the hose, and then it's got a plastic basket that pops onto it. Now, it pops on pretty well. I don't know if you, as you can see, it pops on pretty well. It's pretty secure, but I just don't trust it for long term. If that basket pops off, you're gonna get a lot of larger debris in your pump, and it's probably gonna break some fins of the impeller. So I would get aftermarket basket. Now, one other important facet of it, and there is something mentioned briefly on another YouTube video, is the exhaust. Now the exhaust has a protective cage over it. I've ran it for about 10 minutes, breaking the engine in, and it's got this little protective, I don't know if you can see this, but yeah, it's got this little protective basket around the muffler. Well, it gets pretty hot. Well, your hose is right here. So between here and here, you've only got maybe 2.5 inches. So in order not to like have to replace hoses, what I'm gonna do is make a little diamond plate shield. I'm gonna stick it off about 1 inch, give it room for heat dissipation, and just bolt it on through these fins that are cut in the middle. It's a pretty easy fix, but it's something that does need to be done, because if that hose goes jumping around, it will burn and melt. So other than the exhaust and that handle, I'm pretty happy with it. It's an awesome unit. It's economical. Right out of the box, you can go. You know, it's got everything you need. The one thing I don't really like about it is they didn't give you a fitting for the end of the discharge hose. It just flaps around. You know, you need a fitting for the end of it. Even if you don't use it, put a male cam lock on there. Just something, you know. It's got to have something. Or I particularly got this for IBC totes, so I'm gonna retrofit the end to where I can cam lock it to the top of my IBC tote and do refills. But other than that, that's pretty much it, and pretty much it. I am impressed with this unit. For the price, I'm very happy. And the best part is the simplicity of the engine. You can literally rebuild it in your sleep if it ever breaks. The instructions call for you to put a little oil in the cylinder before you start it, and that's very good advice because it comes to you dry. So take the spark plug out, put a little bit of oil in, pull the cord a few times, get that piston to work that oil back and forth, put your spark plug back in, and just expect it to smoke for a couple minutes when you first start it. Now the initial startup was easy. It just fired right up. I mean, literally first pull. So no problem there at all. I hope you enjoy my video, and I hope you enjoy my few items I'd like to share with you about the exhaust, that cam lock fitting on the intake, and the handle. Otherwise, I would still buy another one. I'm happy with it. Screw the handle. I'm gonna end up bolting it to a bed next to my IBC tank anyways. Y'all have a blessed day, and thank you for watching.